Welcome to the Sushi Forum, week 99. Each week we look at proposals that are on the Sushi Discourse Forum on Snapshot or have already passed the voting process. This is an open community call, so everyone is welcome to join us up on stage anytime. We also have the AMA Text Questions channel available for those who wish to engage via text. As always, joined by our super co-host, Zappuccini. None of this is financial advice, so please do your own research. Okay, it's been a big week for sushi. Lots of things happening here, and yeah, I guess like we'll get into like the snapshot and stuff soon enough here. But yeah, just some quick updates here. Some of you may have noticed Kava pools are live now. So Kava is something that you've been looking to play around with. You can do that now via Sushi. So check that out. If you are going over to the website, you'll also notice if you head over to sushi.com, you'll see that the landing page has changed as well. Looks clean, looks nice. I'm into it. I dig it. It totally matches. It's like a beautiful match of the Sushi 2.0 UI. So yeah, super into it. And then yeah, also Boba is live as well. So yeah, some cool stuff there. If you're into those ecosystems, you can give it a try. So yeah, I mean, I'm just like scrolling through this list now, and it's like we're everywhere. Sushi is everywhere. Now. Yeah.
I also see we got the Climate DAO integration up now.
Yeah. So now, if you want to. If you want to go green and you want to offset your swap, you can do so. And that one, I think, is just on Polygon, correct, for now? And then, yeah.
As far as I know, yeah. Here's the article.
So pretty straightforward there. Just like if you're about to do the swap, hit up, if you're on Polygon, go up into the little gear wheel in the corner of the swap, in I guess the swap widget or modal or however you call it. And if you just look down, once you click that gear, you're going to get a few settings. Obviously the slippage tolerance, custom tokens, and expert mode if you are an export. And then there's the carbon offset offset selection as well right there. So you can click that, and that will then kind of utilize Klima DAO. There's that article if you want, if you want to check it out just to kind of understand what's going on there and what Klima's initiative is and whatnot. So you'll be, doing the carbon credits, kind of offsetting your swap on Polygon. So if you're looking to do that, if you want to be green, then feel free to do that. But you'll have to go on and turn that on. You'll have to opt in.
Oh, they might not have actually flipped it on yet.
Oh, is it not on?
I'm getting this information here.
I'm seeing. Yeah. Anyways, it's in the UI, so I can make the button go blue, but maybe we're. I don't know. Anyway,
it should be up any moment. I know that as soon as it's up, within the first week, I think it was, they said that you get a POAP if you use it for the first few days.
Okay. There you go. For all of you POAP lovers, go give that a test out. So, yeah. Cool. I guess other things to stable swaps is also is coming very soon as well. That should be ready to go. So that was kind of the latest. Once that's live, I'm sure we'll have Sarang come on and give us a quick update around all that. It's usually pretty good for keeping everyone informed and letting things, getting like the updates on the technical side of things. So we really appreciate it when he comes up. But I guess like with no further ado here, we did have the latest snapshot with the new head chef one. So. We now have a new head chef. So we do have Jared in. If you want to come up here, Jared, would love to have you up here.
Yeah. Okay. I see where I was looking at the 1.0 app. It's on the 2.0 app.
Being dumb. Okay. All good. Yeah. All good.
It's just on the 2.0.
Cool. got it. So yeah, if you just touching back on the Kalima DAO thing here, if you are, you can do it on the 2.0 side. So yeah, should be all good. If you just go to sushi.com, you're going to get to the Sushi 2.0 UI, and it should be all straightforward. Okay. So anyhow, Jared, welcome. I'm glad glad to have you up here. Of course, great snapshot vote. 11 million Sushi Power in favor for your nomination. So welcome.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm glad to be here, and I've had a really whirlwind beginning to this week, and I think any positive, the positive sentiment that I had about sushi has only been amplified by these first 3 days of getting to know the team and getting to see all of the really great things they're working on behind the scenes, and feel even more positive now than I did during the election process that this was the right place to dedicate the next hopefully few years of my professional career to help growing and making a real force in the DeFi and crypto space. Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah. No, I was really wanted to ask you about your first impressions so far here, over the first few days, but sounds positive. I don't know, anything else you want to add about just kind of your, first, it's still very fresh. It's still first week here and everything, but would love to hear anything else that you're seeing.
Sure. Yeah. I've gotten a deluge of congratulatory comments and DMs, and a lot of like my professional career or professional network has reached out and congratulated me and brought into the mix proposals they think could be like synergistic between what they're doing in sushi. And so I think there's quite a bit of promise there for really leveraging the network and the positive reception we're getting there with this snapshot vote. I've also been doing like one-on-ones with the team, and I have to say, like, everyone who's involved that I've done one-on-ones with, I'm pretty sure I've gotten to most everyone. So I expect kind of the sentiment to carry on is that I'm super impressed by everyone, and everyone has such a great dedication and outlook for sushi. And I think the team that everyone that sushi has now is the team that's going to lead it forward. I'm excited to be part of it.
Oh, awesome. That's it's wonderful to hear for your first bit of interactions. I know it's been an ongoing process, so you've got to know a lot of people throughout all of it, but having that, finally being able to, be involved in the team and see and actually have these like, deeper dives, I suppose, into, protocol level and, team structure and everything. That's really great to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like,
great to be able to report it.
Awesome. I guess just a couple of quick things here, just like, I guess your first plans here for like kind of what you're catching up on here to start, just kind of in the beginning, and then kind of like initial plans for upcoming weeks here as things unveil. But obviously you've been, interacting, having one-on-ones with the team, other things that, just to kind of get you up to speed and everything that you're looking into.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a lot of one-on-ones and really just kind of working within my network within crypto and trying to identify opportunities and getting caught up to speed on the product dev pipeline, and taking stock of resources, treasury expenses, starting to think about the high-level approach in more detail. During the election process, it was kind of like there's a lot of conjecture, I think, on our parts as candidates to what may or may not work in our proposals. And now being able to see kind of behind the curtain, so to speak, the inner workings and all of that, the parts of my plan that may have fallen short in the parts that are going to work, and being able to cultivate, a more efficient high-level plan, and then really go out there and attack the market with a renewed sense of purpose and a nice, structural plan in place.
Great. Yeah. Well, no, that's great. If we've got, I don't know if we want to just open it up here to questions. If anybody does have questions for you, happy to take them in here via AMA text questions, or if you want to just raise your hand. I mean, we've had a lot of obviously you've been through a lot of questioning from everyone so far, but just as your first time up here as head chef, just wanted to open the floor to anybody just to give that opportunity.
Yeah, don't be shy. Step on up. I guess while we're waiting to maybe hear from someone, their questions or whatever, I think, where I'm really excited for the future of sushi is in the power of the partnerships, again, from people that have reached out. There actually is quite a lot of excitement um, about what sushi is and what it can be. And quite a lot of people have really great ideas. So I'm excited about just kind of continuing this dialogue with partners and moving forward with their feedback and community feedback as well. Looks like Alex has a
Yeah.
who is
Yeah, we can touch on that here. Just kind of following up here with your last comment. Yeah, like partnerships and things like that, building on top of sushi, or integrating with, or like utilizing all that. I've always been a fan of like any of these. This whole, I know it's a bit of a meme, but like the DeFi Lego kind of idea. But this is where like being able to stack things on top of each other and utilizing other products, and that are leveraging from others, and others leveraging the products that sushi offers. There's like always this, like there's such an ecosystem that can continue to be built and driven and whatnot. So I'm glad that is like an interest and focused for you, because I agree there as well, that's like that's like going to be a big driver and a good way to like compete in this very competitive landscape.
For sure. And part of that conversation is like, what's going to be the greatest ROI for our focus? And, that's going to take me probably a couple of weeks, I would imagine, to really drill down into what products we offer currently, what's in the pipeline, where are resources best spent to get that ROI that we need to move into our next growth phase and really start to scale. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's take this question here as, what do you see the biggest challenges for next month, quarter, and year?
Yeah, I think I can sum that all up into one answer, honestly. And I think touches a little bit on what I was just talking about. Maybe I was subconsciously answering that question, but I think it's getting alignment on what's going to be our greatest ROI efforts, right? I mean, we need to kind of reestablish the brand as a permanence in the industry, in the space, and leverage that as maximally as we can, get the revenues up, grow TVL if that's going to be our target metric. And we'll kind of know, I think, that if that's our true like North Star way forward for protocol revenue. And I think I see that as being like the most significant challenge. The other stuff is like operational and just getting alignment with the team, finding out resources that they don't have that they need to better do their job, to be more efficient. Those kind of things are standard. I view them as standard, I guess, in like the manager / executive role. What differentiates maybe another executive role from this one is those challenges sushi faces, which is just generating more revenue, and how best we do that.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, I mean, those are very important topics, or very important, focuses. So, happy to hear that's that. And I mean, that all kind of ties into, building out the protocol and the brand. That's definitely going to all tie together there. And if there's, go ahead.
I was just going to say thanks to Sous Chef for the question.
Wicked. And also, if you are over in Twitter Spaces, I think you can ask a question from there. We can bring you up on stage, and it should actually come across and port over into Discord. So if anybody's over there looking to speak, please feel free to raise your hand as well there. But I see. Okay, Django. Rebranding idea of sorts was proposed. Sushi is getting away from the Japanese themes and going American English themes. Is this still under consideration?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're kind of seeing that take place even before I was officially like put into this role, right? With the 2.0 rebranding, and I mean, I think this looks really great from what I'm seeing. I think there's a maturity to it. I think it's important, like we don't lose the sense of fun and kind of excitement that sushi, has stood for in the past. I think this branding speaks to both that maturity and that fun element. I think there may be more significant rebranding in the works. That stuff likely isn't to the point where it's shareable. But I think what you're seeing in the 2.0 is like representative of where the brand is headed. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, you'll see that with the new 2.0, things are getting named more with like an action-oriented, like at least for the tabs and whatnot, rather than just saying like Kashi and Farm. It's going to say Earn at the top, and that way it's a little bit more easy to direct people around coming from the outside, not quite knowing what the nomenclature is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a portion of that's still in flux too, And again, this is my 3.5 day, so I'm not entirely up to speed on everything. I just want to set that expectation. I think in the next Thursday's AMA, I'll have a better bearing on most all of these items and be able to speak like more intelligently about each one of them individually. So this is more like a high level view of what I've been shown in the one-on-ones and what I've been able to dig into just in the last 3 days. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still very early in this whole, in the new part of sushi here for you. But yeah, obviously this, I don't know, like you said here, the 2.0, this UI and the branding and everything here to try and keep that element of fun. I think that's very important. That's like, what attracted a lot of people to sushi in the beginning, I think. So to try and keep that, alive and, still just having like you say, a matured. I really like that that adjective. I
think that's stuff important too, because the sense of maturity, even if it's not like the most what's the word I'm looking for? Maybe if it's not the centerpiece of the branding, right? It still is conveyed in some way because, like, maturity in a lot of ways kind of lends itself to trust, and trust is really something that is paramount in this space for brands. And I think that sushi, for sure, any brand benefits from an increased sense of trust, and being able to convey that in branding is just a win-win.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Does we got somebody here from the design team? I don't know if they want to speak to kind of ideas or thoughts. I don't know if they Cabbage, if you're interested in.
I see you, Cabbage.
Cabbage, do you want to kind of give some thoughts around design and ideas there? No pressure, but hey, there's a hand. Yeah, just to kind of get your take would be awesome.
Yeah, we're going through the right now. Right now, what you see here on /swap and including the intersection, we're going to have like a newer look, maybe around next year. So right now, we're trying to like have a pretty minimalism and neutral brand going on. And right now, we're working with a design agency to kind of really nail down what our brand proposition is. So definitely keep looking forward to next year's update. But for now, in general, we're trying to reduce the cognitive load in general on each page. And for the UX, you can see like with the pool page, it's definitely an improvement. In the past, you have to like go to multiple pages to complete, from like adding liquidity and then to like stake in the farm, but now you can complete that in one page. And in terms of like viewing position, a lot of newcomers would not be able to find where the position is after staking. I think the new UI enable them to, have a better navigation after they have changed their position on Sushi before and after staking. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the new UI.
Awesome. I know you've all worked very hard on it, and yeah, it looks great. It looks great.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate the team again. A lot of work goes into what can be viewed as like a simple change like UI, but there's a whole science and a lot of thought that goes into that stuff for even like the simplest of things, like Cabbage was talking about with cognitive load. So I think they've done a great job, and I think the next steps in the I don't know, we're going to call it Sushi 2.0 version 2 or Sushi version 3.0 when the full rebrand comes out. But what I've seen from that so far looks really great. I think it's just going to improve on what they've already done even further.
I'd say from the visual aspect, I would call it a 1.5. This 2.0 update, for now, it's mostly, I think, on the tech stack aspect, as well as the UX. But for UI, the 2.0 is coming in, I'd say January-ish. Yeah, hopefully.
Awesome. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah, any further questions here for Jared or anything else that you want to bring in for I do see that, is the design going to be in line with Shoyu branding, or how's I guess I don't know if you want to speak to that at all, Cabbage?
So for Shoyu, I believe the Shoyu team is working on their own branding. I know it'd be quite different than what they have leaked last year. So I think Ryan could chat a bit more on that when he is here. But for the new Sushi rebrand, it's still in the process of visual exploration. We have kind of developed a concept, so with some keyword proposition, and yeah, we're working with the SDL to kind of finesse the direction, exploring Japanese and simple and bold. So these are some keywords I'm gonna throw out here, but visual wise, it's still kind of work in progress.
Wicked. All right. Yeah, again, if anybody from Twitter Spaces, just checking there, if you do have questions, you can raise your hand, and I think we can get you over here into Discord as well. You should be able to you'll be able to be connected here. But no, this is all really great stuff to hear. I'm hearing a lot of positive feedback as well, just in other circles about the where Sushi's headed, the look, the brand, just seeing that there's forward movement here as well. So really, really stoked. I think there's some good stuff coming ahead.
Yeah, I think the next few weeks towards and through the end of the year are going to be really defining for Sushi. I'm actually super excited. I keep saying that, as cliche as it sounds, I'm just genuinely excited. The more I learn, as I talk, more deeply with the team, and I'm putting these plans together for growth and stuff like this, there's just an abundance of opportunity. It's really going to come down to what we choose as a team and as a project to dedicate our time and our resources to, right? What's going to return the greatest ROI. And yeah, man, I really just think we have all of us together have a really great opportunity to take Sushi to the next level. This isn't going to be just me. This is going to be the community, all the team members that have been working on some of these projects for months. They've been working on stuff, right? So I'm not going to take any credit for any of that. All of this stuff is just their dedication and hard work. I just want to help them move it all to the next level, and as well too, I want to get as much community feedback. I think it's important that we don't lose sight of kind of the defining ethos of sushi, and the community is a huge part. We need to make sure that they're involved, and so my DMs are always open. I'm always up to chat with anyone. If you have concerns or you have feedback, tag me in the server or send me a DM. Always available. Unless I'm sleeping, then don't take it personally if I don't respond.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much, Jared, for kind of addressing all the whole community here as you're as you're now the new head chef of Sushi. So yeah, looking forward to all the new progress coming ahead here, and yeah, great stuff to come. All right. Okay. Well, let's keep moving here, and we can look at proposals and things like that. Let me go here to, I do want to continue to, we did have some discussion here last week on the Multi-Sig, and we had some really good discussion around other things to add into this. So I made some edits last night. I'm trying to keep track of all of those just so people can see kind of the progress and I guess like the development of this proposal. So quick TLDR on the edits made. So basically having an ongoing list of potential multi-sig signers in a queue in like a separate proposal, then have a review process of 3 months for the signers and activity and engagement, and then adding a process for offboarding signers and onboarding new ones, and then proposing that there be a bit of a range for the compensation. So yeah, as we kind of like break each of those kind of sections down here. So basically with like the ongoing list, just to have like, if multi-sig signers here, throughout the process, and we'll kind of tie into that here in a second, but like if they are, if we need to, have some signers are no longer interested or, are passive or inactive or whatever, just ghost or however it works, having like a list of people who are interested in joining the multi-sig, we can have that set up in a separate proposal where there's just like a, kind of a running list of people who are interested. We can just like have it where the proposal is edited so that we keep, those who are interested in a list. And then what we can do is just like, if there's an event where, people are looking to step off, we just like create a poll in a proposal and just say, hey, these are the interested people who are like up next to join the multi-sig. Then message or have like have that poll. From that poll, take those individuals, whether it's 1 or 2 or however many is necessary to fulfill the, to step onto the multi-sig there to fulfill the roles of those who are stepping off. And then just take that to snapshot. And at that point, once snapshot's passed, then, have them come in and out of the, have the onboarding, offboarding process for the multi-sig signers and do it that way. Also saying that like, so then having, why would someone step off or what's going on here, or kind of having like a, like a review process. So basically having it so like each signer can kind of be gauged among all of the other multi-sig signers, and just to make sure that they're active, engaged. I think that, there's going to be a chat available for, for all the multi-sig signers so that they can, stay up to date with one another, when transactions are needed to be signed, and then every 3 months, just having like, hey, has everyone been involved, engaged? And even if you're like, and what I wanted to point out here, even from like last time we kind of talked about this, was like, even if you are not actively signing, like if you didn't sign each one of these transactions, but like you've been, checking the transactions, you've been involved, you've been engaged, you've been active, that way people can, I think that like that still has a lot of merit here. So like, the goal here is to avoid having like passive signers and to just ensure the integrity of the transactions that are to be signed. So I'm hoping that kind of process makes sense, that kind of like fulfills, that kind of like, how do we keep the multi-sig signers engaged, active, not passive, and keep them like as, you know, good stewards of the multi-sig. But yeah, and then like if any of the multi-sig signers like whatever aren't able to, you know, don't want to either no longer want to remain, don't want to or just like have gone dark or whatever it is, just kind of having that process in place of, hey, we can select from the, you know, queue list, the list that has been you know, proposed, pull, take that to snapshot, migrate them onto the do the onboarding process. So hopefully that that kind of like helps with that, as far as like the questions that we had around the you know, what else we could do here to kind of like set that process up and to kind of have like a review period as well. Happy to take any feedback on that.
Can the team veto multi-sig nominations?
Yeah, I don't.
That's a good question, and something that we've actually, I don't even think discussed. I don't think it's come up. So maybe we should take that point up and have a discussion on it. I don't know. I don't know how we would do that. I don't know if it provides a benefit. I mean, obviously there's a lot of due diligence and vetting that goes into these multi-sig nominations, and quite a few of them, if not all of them, are pretty high profile people that have kind of like, at least in this batch, I think proven their integrity in the space. I could be wrong. I might be leaving somebody else, but I don't think, yeah, I agree with Neil here. Actually, I think that, yeah, it could be that they're inappropriate because we missed something in the vetting process. But I don't know, Mountain. If you have a suggestion, this is kind of what I was just talking about community engagement. If you have a suggestion for how you would like to see the nomination of the multi-sig nominees proceed, you know, don't hesitate to make it available. And we can discuss that. Can sushi enthusiasts like myself also be signers?
Yeah, and so this is where I'm kind of proposing, like, we've got a list right now. I think, like we, as you've stated here, Jared, we've got a very solid list. Yeah, I want to, you know, make sure that we can continue getting this, you know, getting the multi-sig kind of back in shape here again. We've needed to have a new process, or, you know, new signers, building out a process and actually getting this to move forward. You know, and then this is where we'd have like this running list where we can have people in the queue. If somebody wants to step off, then, you know, hey, that way we can let the community, you know, this is where, you know, the community can then, you know, decide through forum polls and everything and discussions, for, you know, others that could come on. So,
right. I think what Mountain Goat is trying to get to is just a level of like accountability. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is just my assumption, but if there's a way for us to improve the accountability of the pool of people, and if enthusiasts want to go through a vetting process to be in that pool and they meet the like qualifications, whatever they would be, I don't see any reason why they wouldn't be eligible for the pool. I don't know if that means they're going to become signers. Yeah, I think this is just something we're going to work through. It's like governance, right? Governance has been a model and process for thousands of years and throughout human history. And we don't have a perfect governance model in crypto. We're all kind of working towards that ultimate goal. And so feedback's really important.
Yeah, I don't see why you couldn't be a signer, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, this is kind of what I've proposed. You know, obviously the goal here is to just like get this in shape, get a new, you know, get all the signers, you know, in place. And so that we can have, you know, get the multi-sig updated. And I'm sure there's going to be changes throughout all this. You know, things come up in people's lives, where they're either, you know, too busy or no longer interested, or just have or just whatever reason it is. Or if they're just like passive as well, we'll need to bring
they get cast away, stranded on an island, and they're stuck for 3 months with a volleyball.
Yeah, that or
Sharpie eyes on too.
Yeah.
I think Tangle, like I totally get what you're saying, and like the value of the proposal is right on point. Like there has to be efficiency in the multi-sig, right? We can't have transactions and languishing and trying to track down people. So the people that get multi-sig nominations are going to be people that have kind of, I think, proven themselves in multiple ways, and they're going to bring that efficiency for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of them have been or continue to sit on other multi-sig, so they're familiar with the transactions, familiar with like cadence around this, and hoping that this is like something we can move forward on, and if the community is like up to it likes where this is headed, would love to see this move to Snapshot here. Obviously didn't want to do it at the same time as the head chef nomination and whatnot. Wanted to keep that as a focal point, but would love to see this move along here so that we can get new signers on, and kind of bring in this poll process.
That's been stopping us from getting other things too involving the treasury, like this ribbon finance thing we were looking at and other things.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Right.
So anyhow, let's if we can drum up. I think if like there's any further, like I say, just we can kind of go through that here over over the next few days. Just have a look at at that proposal. Please make any extra additions to it, or comments on it. Hopefully this, like we said last week, we had a really great discussion around like, hey, what about this, what about that, and that's where we continue to formulate these proposals into formulating them into something that's better, and having like a little more structure around it, and answering the questions of the community. So I really appreciated that with last week's conversation. So it's now got us to a place where we have like a process for this whole thing, so it can kind of have it has completion. Yeah,
and thanks for putting it together and getting it up and running.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't an easy list, I'm sure.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's kind of what looking at, and if anybody else has comments on it, please head over to the forum. If we can maybe post that proposal, let's see if I can get it in there. Got it here. If we can post it into the AMA text questions for anybody who hasn't seen it, please feel free to. Let's see if I can beat somebody to it. Oh yeah. If you haven't seen it, please any questions on it, follow up, and I got it. I nailed it.
Oh, you beat me.
So please check that out, and it would be great to move on this. All right. Let's see here. What other things to discuss?
I saw that True to put up something for Nansen Connect.
Yes. So that came up here just a couple of hours ago. I'm sure not everyone has had a chance to kind of run through that here, just as it's only been up for a couple hours.
Somebody from there in the audience.
I do see I thought I saw Ed or something here, but I do like to give people a chance to kind of run through the proposal first, and kind of get themselves familiarized with it, get a little bit of discussion going on in the forum, so that when we do have the chats up here, at least we've got some other context to go on. So I think this would be a great one for next week to dive into, but just to kind of raise awareness on it anyhow, that this is, Nansen Connect. Just a quick overview here on it. Nansen Connect is a Web3 powered messaging tool for communities and projects to connect, build, and discover alpha together. So go have take a look at that. Thank you for posting that in there, Zap. And yeah, just have a read through it, and next week we'll get the Nansen guys on, and the folks there can unpack this whole proposal and talk more about Nansen Connect.
Tangle.
Yeah.
I have a quick question for you.
Sure.
I'm in the voting booth right now on the Multi-Sig signer, and I'm looking to get my I voted sticker. I have a question about, should signers receive sushi as compensation? How much annually? This is
right.
Not total. This is per.
Yeah, and my bad here. I forgot to talk about that aspect of it as well here. So yeah, just going back to back to the multi-sig signer proposal here. We did have some discussion around like compensation and such. First and foremost, the discussion around like a range as well. So like, 2,500 sushi is like obviously the most voted on the poll. Some of the, there was concerns that was going to be too low. What I'm proposing as well in this proposal is saying, hey, let's have a range where it's like, it's a minimum of, $5,000, $5,000 USD notional as a base floor to make sure that is always covered. And then up to, and then if the price of sushi was to change or fluctuate over time, still having that to have that range of like up to $10,000 USDC or USD notional for, as a cap, so that there isn't like, if something happens that, the price of sushi continues to move, at least it's kind of gauging and ranging between there. And that would be for an annual annually per signer.
Gotcha. Okay. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So, anyway, I don't know if there's any further questions on that or comments. Thank you for bringing that up. I totally, forgot to touch on that aspect of it, but, I think having a range is going to be, I think it's good for both signers and for the community. It's kind of like a win-win on either side. And then doing, obviously want to try and do as much as we can through Furo and use that. So would obviously propose Furo streams, and then maybe doing it like monthly. It might be a little extra lift and a little bit of overhead, but that way, if we did, if the range needs to change, that way we, I think I put that in there. How did I word that? Was, sorry, back up here. To kind of like help regulate any fluctuations in price deviation. And that way it's, kind of like covers everything. So,
yeah, I think that's real fair.
Cool. Again, if anybody has further comments, questions, aspect as well, please give me or give us some feedback there in the forum, or toss it in here in the AMA text questions. Okay. Yeah, so with back to Nansen then, if you can just all run through that proposal, have a look at it. Share feedback, thoughts, anything like that would be fantastic. Okay.
Yeah, as Mark says, it's be cool to have a chat, like line for middle tier holders, I guess, to be able to get their thoughts and expressions into the team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this whole idea of, I guess, like, I don't really like the term token gated, because it does seem like it's, this club site sort of thing, but I kind of want to say like more like, how can we put it? I take token gating as a negative connotation, to be honest, but I do like this idea of like reward unlocking or something like this. Maybe we can work on.
But yeah, Mountain Go's got a good point. Like, so we do kind of have these channels here on Discord, although to a much smaller degree and smaller bag size. By the same token,
and that's
really just the head chef talk and the polls that you got at the moment.
Yeah, and that's like the key thing here is, will it dilute where we chat? And that has been kind of a concern where it's either it hides things from people or like that discussion does end up being like this really small thing. So again, this is why I've like always kind of, I don't know, I've had kind of mixed feelings on token gating. And again, that's why I want to call it more, or like if we take it in more of a different mindset, not only just like the verbiage and like what it's actually doing, but like to kind of promote it so that it's like, this is, it's a reward unlocker in a sense. So now we are going into discussion there where it's like, it doesn't end up just being this like secret private club. It's like people here are able to chat and discuss because they are, they have an interest in something, or there's like, because you've participated in this, you would have more, you would have more, I guess, more knowledge or more like interest in that topic or that, that area. Right. So like if we were to open up a chat that says you've got an LP position of a certain size, like you would probably want to have discussions with other people around like, hey, I am this is me doing that. I've proven it just because, using Guild or whatever. And it showed, if anybody hasn't joined Guild already, please go over it to the Guild join channel and connect your wallet there and join on with Guild, please. And thank you. Especially if you want to get the POAP for this call, that'll be issued through Guild. So we'll go through that all afterwards. But with any of this like gated stuff too, or however it is like permissioned, reward unlocker, whatever. I'm going to work on the verbiage on this. I've always kind of been interested in having it as a viewable channel so that it's viewable, but I want to, removing it in order to have the permissions to speak or to like communicate in that chat, then that would unlock it for you once you've had that. So this way here, it's not so much like creating these like private clubs, but it's like, hey, if this interests you and you want to be a part of this discussion, then here's the requirements that you need in order to like say that, hey, yes, I am a part of this, or I am, I do have like value to add here because of the actions I've taken. And here's like kind of my proof for it. That's something like, that's kind of the approach that I like to have, where it's like rewarding good behavior as compared to like blocking out, people who didn't, do a thing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's like a question of value, right? What value do these new like platforms provide for the community? Is it more or less the same as what we have now? If not, how do we quantify it? And then I haven't even looked at this, so maybe I shouldn't even interject my opinion, but it's hard for me to see how this would have like a large amount of value for the community above and beyond what Discord provides. But I could be wrong, and I think I'm going to hold like my official opinion on it until I like download the beta and mess around with it.
Yeah, and I think like, we are kind of blending a few different discussions here together, where we're talking about like, the gated roles in Discord, and then, having Nansen, which is, obviously it's going to have other roles that we can apply there, two kind of separate platforms. I am, any of this stuff where we are fragmenting conversation, I do like to see, consolidation or, interoperability or something of that nature. But obviously with Nansen, like, analytics and some other things can kind of come into play here. So we'll have to run through that proposal. And once we have a better understanding of it for next week, we can really dive into it and see like what advantages it can take and bring over Discord, and maybe how it can complement this whole ecosystem, or rather than like, being, fragmenting things. But, curious to see like where, what the discussion will be around all that and go from there. But, it does raise, this whole like permissioned or, reward unlocking aspect is an interesting one. And was listening in actually to the POAP community call earlier on today, and we had WeLook on there, and just like some interesting ideas and some conversation and discussion around like, unlocking things, and especially POAPs. I do see Santiago in the audience here right now, so great to see that. But obviously POAPs have been tools for that as well, and helping kind of like build out this whole Web3 ecosystem. I don't know, I'm seeing it as there's more and more utility that is coming. It may not be in its full form right now, but lots of stuff is happening, a lot of builders building, and I don't know, I'm pretty excited about that. So I definitely want to see where all this can go. And especially when it's like on-chain activity, like what have you been participating in? What have you been, doing? And it's like, here's on-chain proof. It's not even like, you have these sorts of things. And so this is where I like this, more of this like idea around reward unlocking, if that makes sense. Anyhow, I digress. I'm kind of going on here.
No, I like it. I think you're on point, man. I think that's very valuable. Rants can have a lot of value. Rambling can have a lot of value, right?
Well, some days. I don't know.
Times. I think that was one of the times. So
well, I hope so. Sometimes my fiance seems to feel otherwise about it, but that's another thing. Anyhow, okay. Any final? I don't know. Anything else here? We're kind of getting close to an hour here. Any final kind of thoughts, comments, questions, concerns here from anyone?
Well, how was the first week, Jared?
So far so good, right? I'm having a lot of fun. I had been looking for an opportunity like this very intently for quite a while, and excited to be here. First week so far has been really, really great. Getting along really well with everyone so far on the team, and hope to just build those relationships with everyone more, and really get to work over the next few weeks.
What does your wife think of all this?
So, yeah, she might as well be a crypto native as well. She's been with me. We've been together for almost 11 years, and she is super excited, and I think she's as hyped up as I am, and hopefully the community is super supportive and ready to see where we take this thing,
One final question, I guess, on my side here, just as we're talking about relationships and things like this. I know for myself, it's been, being in Web3 and, managing relationships, with loved ones can be a little bit tricky. Do you have any, obviously as you've been, been involved in crypto for a while, or Web3, or however we want to call this, and, have been with, with your wife for 11 years, any pieces of advice, suggestions, things that have worked, things that haven't, in order to like help maintain that relationship or strengthen it, or ensure that, just to kind of like, maintain that relationship, and just to kind of keep that, how to service that best. If you've got any pointers for that, I'm sure there's probably others that are feeling the same way as well.
There are 4 words that you need to get good at saying. You are right, dear. All right. You get good at those words. You'll be fine. But I mean, I'm kidding. I mean, I think the biggest thing is just having communication, right? And that's the key with any kind of business relationship, personal relationship, friendship, whatever, And my dad told me a long time ago, he said, don't go to bed angry. Mm-hmm. That was the key thing. But that speaks to the communication, right? I would say if people have things they need to talk about, they should talk about them. And I think that's really what's been a key driver in our relationship. If I can speak about that personal stuff for a moment. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, that's I'm glad to hear that, and I do hear this from a lot of people, and that's something that I'm trying to do. Obviously, like a lot of communicating all day with online and everything, and it's something that I try and hold important in our relationship too. Is having like that communication, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like it's a little bit tricky when you're like trying to shift gears from from this over to in real life thing, but. Yeah, I will agree with you. That is something that I've found has been helpful. Obviously, it's a work in progress, but how to have that communication and the best ways to be the effective way of communicating, and rather than things that aren't important or things that aren't actually meaningful to servicing that relationship. But yeah, I've heard this from like countless people that have had like long-standing marriages that are still successful, or any type of like long-standing relationships. But yeah, not going to bed angry. That is something that I've heard ring true for a long time, and something that we strive as well to ensure that doesn't happen.
Awesome, and good luck to everyone in a relationship that's in Web3.
There it is. There he is. All right. I think that's a great way to end this all. Yeah, we've kind of moved into kind of like a, after hours discussion here or something, but yeah, it's good. That's good. We need to kind of be mindful of all this sort of stuff too. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's all we got holding us together right now. Even the DAO, it's all communication, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause yeah, I feel like a problem a lot of the time is nobody is privy to like the ins and outs of everything. Obviously, sometimes I feel like it's very easy to project like a preconceived notion upon something, and then you kind of write it into reality at a certain point. So yeah, don't go to bed angry is such good advice. It really is, because that's just going to set the tune for the next day. And next thing you know, you're in a feedback loop, and it's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah. All right, let's pack it up there. Thank you, Jared, for coming on today and sharing your being active and engaged in this. I really appreciate that. Looking forward to everything that's coming ahead here with you at the helm, and helping to guide Sushi to like being awesome again.
Happy to be here. Happy to be in front of the community whenever they need me. Want to chat, whatever. Like I said, my DMs are open. Telegram, Discord, at me on Twitter, whatever. I'm happy to reply when I have a moment to get to it.
Awesome. All right. If you have been in this, if you've been in the forum here for, let's see, let me just find this. For 10 minutes or more, 15 minutes or more, I think is what I've got it set at. You should be eligible for a POAP. So that will be in the, head over to which channel have we got it here? I just changed that here the other day, claim POAP. Just head over into there. There should be a claim embed link that will be coming from Guild. So please make sure that you have connected your wallet to Guild. If you haven't, you will, I don't think you'll be eligible to claim this POAP. So please make sure you do that. Join guild.xyz. You'll see all of that information in the Guild join channel, and then of course claiming in Claim POAP. So thanks all for coming out here today for that. And the YouTube plug, please. And thank you, Zap.
Yeah, if you do happen to be watching this on YouTube, I'd like to first commend you for getting this far. And then second, I will command you to like and subscribe.
Excellent.
But you don't have to. But I would like it if you did.
Yeah, you should. You should. So there's I've kind of got some other things in the pipeline here too for the YouTube side of stuff. So as far as
me personally, I was looking at like expanding this to start posting these on, say, Spotify, see if it can like get mirrored to Odyssey. I'd like to see the Twitter mirrored to other social media platforms as well. Wouldn't even mind reaching into the cesspool that is Facebook, because there's a whole different tribe of crypto people over there.
Spooky stuff. But yes, you're probably right. But yeah, no, like, absolutely. There's like so many other, as we were kind of talking earlier here about like the whole Web3 aspect of things and like the social layer that is being built. I like to call it a whole social layer that's being built on top of Web3. Lots of ways to connect and to see things. So yeah, let's hopefully have this, like you're saying there, Zap, in a few more mediums. And I've actually been testing out some POAP stuff with YouTube. So stay tuned on that. So maybe.
Oh yeah, with Layer Zero and Twitch. Yeah, we add Twitch to the list.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can pass to there, but
yeah, we can maybe get it on Twitch as well. And yeah, there was just like I did this thing with Rev the other day to try and use it for your YouTube as well. So looking at a few things. So if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. That's a short story there. And yeah, this is good that
wrong on Twitch.
Wrong on Twitch. Beautiful. All right.
Get a plug for that one.
Cool. Next AMA is 100. That's right. It is 100. 100 Sushi Forum. I guess we should try and do something cool, something excellent. Maybe like a whole new, I don't know. Do you think we'd be able to get in the next week? Do we want to put up like some kind of I don't know if we want to do like a contest or like, I don't know if it needs to be a contest or something, but just a new design for the POAP. For the 100th Sushi POAP. Wonder if
that'd be cool.
That could be interesting. Yeah, let's maybe work towards that here. Let's see if we can get some designers.
Mountain Mango has a cool idea. I don't know if Maki would have the time or any of the older.
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, we could maybe.
OGs, but
we could try and do that.
They could come up and just give their 2 cents on what they see, the developments of, this whole thing and what, like, where they see things going. I don't know.
That's a great idea too. Yeah, I'll maybe just see if I can grab Mackie and say, "Do this, sir. Get on here." That would be good if we can get him on here. Would be cool. Virtual Sushi Eating Championship. I don't know. I feel like that could go in a real south real fast, but let's see. And yeah, actually, I'm planning on going to Bogota as well for next week. So if you're there, please try and find me and come get my POAP. So if you find me, I do have a POAP. So I will be, I'll be there. Maybe catch some of you there as well. But yeah, I'll see what. Yeah, actually, if I'm going to be there, I'm going to need to have a microphone to think about the forum here. Yeah, we'll talk about that after Zap. Anyhow, we're going on here. Let's wrap this up. We'll get into recording, and yeah, we'll chat with you all next week. Ciao, ciao.
All right.